Hello everyone. In last class, we have discussed something about problem solving approach or problem solving process and bit of research process under basic of research. So, today we are going to discuss about the problem solving approach, or we can say that problem solving process and research process. What the difference between the problem solving process and the research process. In previous class we have already discussed what is problem solving process or problem solving approach and a little bit about the research process. So today we are going to discuss about the difference between these two. Basic difference क्या है and how people, especially the students of BSc and post basic students, novice researcher, are not able to demarcate the difference between these two properly. So we'll discuss this. Both are the process, first of all. Mind it here. Like both are the process. Problem solving process is also process and research process. That means both involves the steps. Both involves the steps. Right. This problem solving process is also called as problem solving approach. Okay. Both involves process, that's why both are called as the process, problem solving process, and another one the research process. So, as the name suggests, problem solving, like differentiate. Let's differentiate. Problem solving process. And another term is research process. So one of the similarity in these two, both में एक similarity है कि both involves steps, various steps. Now comes to the difference. What the difference basically in these two terminology? As the name suggests here, in this problem solving process or approach, it means here your aim to find solution of a problem. To find solution of a problem. Solution of a problem. That means, and that problem is already defined. Here in this, you wants to solve the problem. That means your intention and you are intending to find the solution of a problem. Fine. But what here in this research process? Here you want to solve the problem and you are finding the scientific solution of a problem. Scientific solution of a scientific solution of a stated problem, of a stated problem. Next, or you may say that, like here in first difference, here in problem solving approach or problem solving process, you want solution of a problem. Here research process, in research process you want scientific solution of a problem. Here in case of problem solving approach or process, you need to define problem. You need to define problem first. But here in research process, you need to state the problem first. Need to state the problem first. You need to state the problem. You need to state the problem. Okay, what the next difference? Here in problem solving approach or problem solving process, you are analyzing problem. It means it involves analysis of problem. But what here in research process, what you are doing, you are you are defining the purpose and rationale behind the study. You are defining the purpose. You are defining the purpose or rationale behind the study, rationale of the study or rationale behind the study. Okay, then what else in problem solving approach or problem solving process, you are focusing in generating possible solution. You are focusing in generating possible solution of a defined problem, generating possible solution of a defined problem, right? Defined problem. Okay, fine. But what in research process में आप क्या करते हो? You are reviewing the literature first. It means it here will come ROL. You are reviewing the literature first. Review of literature is needed in case of research process, but in case of problem solving approach or process, you need not to go through the review of literature. What the next difference in between these two? The next difference is like, in case of research process, you are formulating hypothesis and define the variables, but here no hypothesis formation is there, no hypothesis formation is there, no hypothesis formation, and defining the variables are involved. Defining the variables are involved. But in case of your research process, both hypothesis and defining the variables are involved. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the next difference. इसके बाद क्या डिफरेंस हो सकते हैं आपके इसमें? Here in problem solving approach, you are analyzing the solution. जितने भी आपने सॉल्यूशन पॉसिबल सॉल्यूशन जॉट डाउन किए हैं, you are analyzing that all solution, analyzing the solution in deeper level, right? But what is there in research process then? Here you are selecting a method to test the hypothesis. Here you are selecting a method to test the hypothesis. Okay, and this is your research process. This is your problem solving process. Okay, what else? और क्या डिफरेंस इसमें हो सकते हैं आपके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग प्रोसेस एंड रिसर्च प्रोसेस में? In problem solving process, you are selecting, after this analyzing of the solution, you are selecting the best possible solution. Means selection of best solution. You are selecting the best possible solution. But here in research process, you are selecting population, sample, setting. You are selecting population, sample, and setting. For what? For data collection. It means the next difference you can say that here data collection is not involved. Data collection is not involved in problem solving approach, but in research process data collection is involved. Data collection is involved. Right, data collection is involved. So what the next difference? नेक्स्ट डिफरेंस क्या होगा? डाटा कलेक्शन रिसर्च प्रोसेस में इन्वॉल्व होता है. देन आफ्टर दैट पैरेट स्टडी इज ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व, बट इन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच पैरेट स्टडी इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व. आफ्टर डाटा कलेक्शन पैरेट स्टडी रिसर्च प्रोसेस. प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग प्रोसेस. Palette study is involved in research process. Palette study is the small scale study. Palette study is involved in research process, whereas in problem solving approach or process, no palette study. No palette study is involved. Another one is the palette study involved नहीं होता, then directly in problem solving approach you are going to the implementation of the solution. Directly you are going to the implementation of the solution in problem solving. Implementation of the solution of defined problem, right? But in case of research study you need to collect data also and analyze the data. So here in research process you are going to, after palette study you are going to collect the data. It means data collection are involved. Data collection involved होते हैं इसमें. But in case of problem solving approach, that no data collection is involved. Right. What the next? After data collection? After data collection, analysis of data taken place. Analysis of data taken place. In case of research process. In case of research process. But here in problem solving process, no analysis of data. No analysis of data will be there. But what एनालिसिस ऑफ द डाटा तो नहीं होता है, बट क्या होता है, एनालिसिस ऑफ द सॉल्यूशन होता है, जो आपने पहले वाले स्टेप्स में करा था. ओके, व्हाट द नेक्स्ट द लास्ट वन. व्हाट द नेक्स्ट क्या है आपका? कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ फाइंडिंग्स इन रिसर्च प्रोसेस. कम्युनिकेशन यूनिकेशन, और यू कैन से द dissemination of findings will be there. But in case of this problem solving approach, evaluation and revision is there. The another difference, most important difference of these two are, this is based on basically to solve the problem. This problem solving process is intended to solve the problem. Based on possible solution. Whatever the analyzed possible solution we are having, on that basis we are intended to solve a defined problem. But this research process is a scientific method, and hence it is based on evidence based practice. evidence based practices. So these are the basic difference between these two process: problem solving and research process. So in nutshell, what you can say, what the difference between this problem solving and research process? Problem solving process is a process or a method to solve a defined problem, whereas the research process is a process in order to analyze the stated problem on the basis of evidences. It means here scientific investigation is involved, whereas in problem solving approach or process no scientific investigation is involved. Here variables are involved, here no variables are involved, here manipulation of independent variables, that means manipulation of variables are taken place, but in problem solving approach and process no manipulation of any kind of variables are there, right? So these are the main difference between the research process and problem solving process, and this research process is more scientific than this problem solving process. So I think इतनी ज़्यादा कन्फ्यूज़न अब नहीं रहती होगी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच में और आपके रिसर्च प्रोसेस में. रिसर्च प्रोसेस यू कैन से दैट इज़ अ लार्ज, इट्स हॉराइजन इज़ लार्ज, ये एक बहुत बड़े लार्ज स्केल पे होता है, वेयर इज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग प्रोसेस और अप्रोच इज ए स्मॉल स्केल इन्वेस्टिगेशन, यू कैन से स्मॉल स्केल पे किया जाता है, in which you are defining the problem and you are finding the possible solution for that problem. एक setting में करते हैं and that kind of problem if generated in another setting, another place, you are applying that solution to other place also. But in research process it's a large scale process and it involves data collection, manipulation of variables, and after that ultimately communication and dissemination of findings are also involved. इट मीन्स इट्स अ लार्ज स्केल, रिसर्च प्रोसेस एक लार्ज स्केल है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें इन्वॉल्व होती है, वेयर एज इन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच एंड प्रोसेस इज ए स्मॉल स्केल इन्वेस्टिगेशन which you are doing or which you are making in order to solve any kind of problem generated in your workplace or in your day-to-day life also. Okay, fine. So with this I am ending this video of the difference between these two terminology: research process and problem solving approach. In next video we'll discuss properly and thoroughly about the research process, what the meaning of research process, what the definition of research process, what the importance, purposes of research process, and subsequently we'll move to the different type of research process and then research steps and all. Okay, so thank you for today. Keep learning. Thank you.